Deaf janitor becomes world-famous composer. Her secret will amaze you. Sarah Mitchell had been deaf since birth, living in a world of silence that most people couldn't imagine. At 23, she worked as a janitor at the prestigious Metropolitan Opera House in New York City, cleaning the grand theaters where world-renowned performers captivated audiences night after night. While others heard thunderous applause and soaring melodies, Sarah experienced opera through vibrations in the floor, emotions on performers' faces, and energy that pulsed through the building's walls. She had always dreamed of being part of the magic happening on those stages, but society had convinced her that deafness was a barrier too great to overcome. However, everything changed one evening when she discovered an old, forgotten piano in a storage room deep beneath the opera house. As her fingers touched the keys for the first time, she felt something extraordinary. Vibrations traveled through her body in ways she had never experienced. Night after night, when the opera house emptied and silence filled the grand halls, Sarah would sneak down to the storage room to practice on the dusty piano. She taught herself to play by feeling vibrations through her hands, arms, and entire body. Each note created a different sensation, and she learned to distinguish melodies through touch alone. Her fingers moved across keys with surprising grace, guided not by sound, but by physical rhythm of music itself. After 3 months of secret practice, Sarah's talent caught attention of Antonio Rossetti, the opera house's head composer, who had been working late one evening and felt strange vibrations coming from below. When he discovered Sarah playing a beautiful rendition of Puccini's O mio babbino caro with perfect technique, despite never hearing it, he was stunned beyond words. Antonio realized he was witnessing something revolutionary, a musician who experienced music in its purest form. Antonio became Sarah's mentor, recognizing that her unique relationship with music could bring something entirely new to the classical world. He introduced her to other composers and musicians at the opera house, many of whom were initially skeptical, but quickly became amazed by Sarah's extraordinary abilities. She could feel harmonies that others missed, sense rhythmic complexities through vibrations, and interpret emotional nuances in ways that challenged conventional understanding of musical performance. Sarah began composing her own pieces, creating music that translated visual beauty of sign language into melodic movements. Her breakthrough came when she was invited to perform her original composition, Silent Symphony, at a special evening dedicated to accessibility in the arts. The audience watched in awe as Sarah played with passion and precision that transcended traditional boundaries of how music should be experienced, proving that limitations exist only in our minds. Sarah's performance of Silent Symphony became a viral sensation, inspiring deaf and hard-of-hearing individuals worldwide to pursue their musical dreams. Major orchestras began inviting her to collaborate, and she developed innovative techniques for incorporating visual and tactile elements into classical performances. She created a revolutionary teaching method for deaf musicians, using specialized equipment that converted sound waves into vibrations and visual patterns. The Sarah Mitchell Institute for Accessible Music was established 2 years later, providing instruments, training, and opportunities for musicians with hearing disabilities. Her groundbreaking work caught attention of the International Music Council, and she became the first deaf person to receive their prestigious Innovation in Music Award. Sarah also began working with technology companies to develop new instruments and software that made music more accessible to the deaf community worldwide. Within 5 years, Sarah had performed at world's most prestigious venues, including Carnegie Hall, Royal Opera House in London, and Vienna State Opera. Her unique compositions began incorporating elements that made classical music accessible to both hearing and deaf audiences simultaneously. She developed a revolutionary notation system that included visual and tactile cues alongside traditional musical notes. Universities worldwide started inviting her to lecture and teach masterclasses, and her innovative approach influenced a new generation of composers and performers. Sarah's autobiography, Feeling Music: A Journey Through Silent Melodies, became an international bestseller, translated into 23 languages, and inspiring millions of people with disabilities to pursue their dreams. The Metropolitan Opera House, where she once worked as a janitor, commissioned her to compose a full opera specifically designed for accessibility, featuring visual storytelling and vibrations. Today, Sarah Mitchell is recognized as one of the world's most innovative composers and performers, having revolutionized how society understands the relationship between music and accessibility. Her institute has trained over 10,000 deaf and hard-of-hearing musicians across 6 continents, and her technological innovations are now standard equipment in music schools worldwide. The Sarah Mitchell Foundation provides scholarships and instruments to aspiring musicians with disabilities, ensuring that financial barriers never prevent someone from pursuing their musical dreams. When asked about her journey during a recent interview at the White House, where she received the National Medal of Arts, Sarah sighed with tears. "Music was never about what I couldn't hear. It was always about what I could feel deep within my soul." Every person has their own unique way of experiencing beauty, and mine happens to be through vibrations, emotions, and incredible power of human touch. Our story proves limitations can become strengths.